What's up, folks? Welcome to another edition of the Panther Fan Talk. I'm Eric. With me, as always, is Will.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's, as he said, Panther Fan Talk
Halloween
coming to
edition.
you. Almost, yeah, it will be the Halloween edition, kinda the games before Halloween, but
Pretty
let's
spooky.
go with the Halloween edition of the Panther Fan Talk here on YouTube. Of course, you can also check us out on the All In Sports Talk Network, live every Saturday from 7 to 8 Eastern. That's allinsportstalk.com or All In Sports Talk, the app. And if you miss it live, check us out on SoundCloud, the podcast, Panther Fan Talk. Search us. And, of course, this is the Arizona, for them the rematch, for us another chance to smack around the Cardinals and to get us a win this season. We've got one, so we got a chance to double it. Not a lot of teams can say
win total.
Yeah, say they get a chance to double their win total. Here it is, coming off a bye week. So that puts us in week 8 of the season.
Pretty much.
Week 7 for us. Or
7th game.
Yeah, 7th game for us, week 8 of the season.
Mm-hmm.
And the Cardinals rolling in here to a Bank of America off of a high-scoring, monstrous performance they had against Seattle with the big 6-6 overtime thriller.
That game, man, was the most hilarious and sad display of football I've ever seen in my life.
And that's sad, given the season that we've had.
That was way worse than anything. Any game we've had, man, that was way worse. I mean, well, I guess defensively it is actually, if you like defensive battles. But
I mean, obviously they came away with the tie. I'd like to have a tie right now. As
I thought freaking Gano was bad, man, but I think these dudes are trying to be freaking Gano for Halloween, man. Like, jeez. Hauschka had a chance to win it right there at the end and just freaking pulled a field goal that was like, I don't know how far it was. It seemed like it was 20 yards, but it was straight down the freaking pipe and just pulled it to the left.
They had a 24 and 28 in overtime. Of course, both kickers missed it, but that brings us to this week. So they're coming in here. Of course, this week we here in Carolina didn't have a game. We had the bye week. Notoriously bad coming off of a bye week. Though last year, obviously, that wasn't the case. 15-1 season, and of course, in the playoffs, a couple of times we've done okay coming out of byes.
Yeah.
But this game here, it's more than a normal game, but it's not what we all thought it would be. Of course, we got deflexed by the NFL. We were the 4:30 game. And game of the week, now we're the lowly 1 o'clock game. But I like that move as far as for the Panthers. I think it works in our favor.
Yeah, we seem to play good better at the 1 o'clock games. I mean, freak, I guess getting right into it, man. Your team, Arizona, since you're Arizona Cardinals, they're coming in here with that high-powered offense to put up 6 points. Freaking, what was that Sunday night? That was Sunday night.
Yeah, Sunday night.
It's the same thing as every game. If we get pressure on Carson Palmer, he's going to, well under pressure, and it should be,
Carson Palmer is a different quarterback than the one we saw in the playoffs. He's a regular season phenom. He's a postseason flop. But, as you said, if you get pressure on the old man, he's going to wilt.
Mm-hmm.
The question is, can we get pressure on him?
I mean, we should be able to, hopefully. If there's any kind of hope, we can.
Pretty optimistic call there. I think we can. I think we got me interrupting you, but we also got K1 Short interrupting Palmer and the offense. I think that this is the week that KK comes alive.
I hope so, man. And I was going to point out that Charles Johnson's been playing better. Coney Ely is still missing action. If somebody knows his whereabouts, please call the Panthers organization.
1-800
lost Coney.
Lost end right there. But I think, like I was saying, that we got the emergence of CJ here recently.
Mm-hmm.
Last few weeks especially, he's been very active. He's not got to the quarterback, but he's been all over the run.
Right.
He's gotten closer, to the quarterback. He's gotten some pressures.
Yeah.
We actually got some pressures out of the missing Ely. And I think that all this culminates in a field day for our defensive line. And that's kind of scary to say, but maybe it's the bye week talking. Maybe it's the fact that I've gotten away from the misery that was that Saints loss, and of course the other 4 losses as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I think our D-line gets after it, and I think another part of that is the return of Bradbury in the secondary. I don't think the national audience knows how much he means to our secondary.
He's what makes our secondary anything right now, man. I mean, at least with Bradbury on the field, maybe the quarterback now has to, actually look to his second option instead of just throw it first. Just has all, just as soon as the plays called and the ball snaps, like the number 1 wide receiver is always open, it seems, without Bradbury. But here he is. He's coming back, man. Our number 1 corner, our savior in the secondary, and
I like that.
It couldn't be I don't know, any sooner, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The great news for us here in Panther country is that that we
shout out to Panther country.
We were off this past week, and Atlanta lost,
mm-hmm.
and we gained ground in the South.
Mm-hmm. Only 2.5 back.
2.5 back.
New Orleans lost too.
So we can make some ground up. Obviously, get a win. Atlanta's doing their usual, start hot and then pulling Atlanta collapse.
Mm-hmm.
So we can be in the thick of things real quickly, even at 1-5. And of course, the Bradbury return it's going to help our secondary.
Right.
He's the number 1 guy in the secondary as far as that, because like you said, he pushes the ball to the second option instead of just what we saw with Tampa Bay. Anytime they needed it, just chunk it to Evans.
Freaking
Don't
Mike
hesitate.
Evans.
It's going to give us a little bit more time. Obviously, we're still going to be weak on the other side. But if you want to talk the other side of the ball, we've got another huge cog that returned for our last game, but really started showing up in the second half against the Saints and played a great second half, and I expect that to continue, and I expect us to have a Panther roar and a return at the, a return of the MVP of the league, and that's Cam Newton. I think he has a huge game against the most overrated DB in all the land, Patrick Peterson.
That defense, though, man, is not just Patrick Peterson. There's a dude that some people may know, some people may not. Marcus Goldston, defensive end for the Cardinals. Marcus Golden, that dude is a straight-out beast, man. Look out for him. That defensive line of the Cardinals is no joke. Our offensive tackles, as pretty much every week, is going to have their hands full again, and we've got to get Cam just some quick throws and let him get rid of the ball quick, because Marcus Golden's a beast.
I think it showed we learned a little bit from Derek Anderson playing.
Mm-hmm.
Our coaching staff was forced to adjust and throw quicker routes because we had Anderson back there.
Right.
And I think that translated a little bit into last week or 2 weeks ago, our last game. And I think that's something that we're going to continue to see moving forward. Get the ball out of Cam's hands a little bit faster. Of course, we're still going to have plays where he's back there trying to make something happen. But when it's in moderation, I think it's a good thing. When it's every down, it's obviously not.
Yeah.
The scary part for me is not only Golden, but they run the 3-4 now, and that's what Denver runs, which is our Achilles apparently. And then also, we've had trouble with it.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I think we get Super Cam. I think we get more of the emergence of Funchess and Benjamin doing what they can do.
Right.
And that's just, be better than those across from them, be bigger, be more physical.
And you left out the best tight end in the league right now, Greg Olsen, man. Olsen's been having a phenomenal season. I look for him to get the ball a lot this game. Hopefully score like 8 touchdowns. Go ahead and break that franchise record too. And
he's going to set all kinds of franchise records this year, if not NFL records. He's just tearing it up, and I don't see them having an answer. Hopefully we can get some activity out again like we had in the playoffs when he was wanting to prove him wrong. Hopefully, he still wants to do that. He seems to not always want it as much as he does other times. Much like earlier in the year when he had the huge mistake on the kickoff return, then the following return he takes it like 50 yards, his only good one of the season.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully he comes in motivated. That's just one more weapon. We've already seen Philly Brown abuse Peterson in the past.
Right. So
that's another. So anything else you want to go ahead and hit us with and then throw out your prediction?
You talked about Philly Brown. He's been maybe our second best wide receiver at this point in the season, besides Olsen, being a tight end, and then Benjamin.
Hit or miss.
Philly Brown's been, he's been solid, man. But as far as prediction goes, man, it's tough to pick the Panthers at this point. But like I've said the past, I don't know, every video we put out, I think. You see what I'm wearing. I mean, you see what this is. Like, it's hard to pull against the home team. It's hard to say they're going to lose. And honestly, man, I give the Panthers a real good shot to win this game, and I think they're going to win it. I think it's going to be a close game, though. I'm going to go 24-21 Carolina Panthers at home. We get it done, son. 2-5.
This is the magical 2-5. I think that the bye week was as healthy for me as it was for anybody.
Yeah, that's a good point.
As far as the team goes, after that Saints game, I was prepared to predict us to lose, regardless of who our next opponent was. Fortunately, A, we had the bye week. B, we're just better than Arizona. We put the shellacking on them to the point that they talk trash all offseason, and I started to hit on this earlier, but I think the fact that they talk trash, the fact that we're coming off a bye week, the fact that we've had bulletin board material for 2 weeks, even though our coach let people off for 5 days. But I think that all that combined, the short week, because even though they had the same amount of days as normal, they played a night game that went into overtime, and Arizona. Mm-hmm. They're coming across country to play a game which is essentially at 10 o'clock in the morning for them.
Right.
So they're basically losing a day. We're coming off of a bye week. All those things combined is why Vegas has us favored and why we win the game.
Mm-hmm.
And we cover.
Yeah, we're a 1-point favorite, right?
Yep, 1-point favorite. Actually, some places have us, I've heard, as high as 2.5. But I think we win. I think we cover. I think we put up points. And I think we win 35-27. So that's it. Check us out.
Panther Fan Talk on Twitter, and I'm at Eric the65 on Twitter.
And of course, always check us out Saturdays, allinsportstalk.com, All In Sports Talk the network, All In Sports Talk the app. Anything to do with All In Sports Talk, that's us, All In Sports Talk. That's the people that host our show.
Right.
Panther Fan Talk on All In Sports Talk and on SoundCloud. Hopefully back here after the Panthers win on YouTube. And as always, keep pounding.
Get that win, man. 2-5, here we go, baby.
It's never felt so good.